Namaste, this is David Hawthorne at astroview.com. Today's the 17th of June, 2014. We're going to do a Vedic astrology reading today for Tony Gwynn. This is from Wikipedia. He was an American professional baseball right fielder. He played 20 seasons in Major League Baseball for the San Diego Padres. He won 8 batting titles in his career, tied for the second most in Major League Baseball history. He's considered to be a very consistent hitter. He was a 15-time All-Star, and he had won 7 Silver Slugger Awards and 5 Golden Glove Awards. So he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2007. So quite a successful professional baseball player who died at the age of 54. So let's take a look at his chart here. Now, using Vedic astrology from India, and I am using the systems approach to interpreting horoscopes paradigm, we see that in the first house he has the 11th sign Aquarius ascending or rising at 12 degrees. Ketu, the southern node of the moon, in the first house at 29 degrees. In the second house he has the 12th sign Pisces with Mars in the second house. Third house, he has the first sign Aries with Sun, Mercury, and Venus in the third house. Fourth house, he has the second sign Taurus. Fifth house, third sign Gemini. Sixth house, fourth sign Cancer. Seventh house, fifth sign Leo. And he has Rahu, the northern node of the moon, in the seventh house of Leo, at 29 degrees. Eighth house, he has the sixth sign Virgo. Ninth house, seventh sign Libra. Moon in the 9th house at 0 degrees. 10th house, he has the 8th sign Scorpio. 11th house, 9th sign Sagittarius. Jupiter ruling Sagittarius is at 9 degrees in Sagittarius retrograde, and Saturn is also retrograde at 25 degrees in Sagittarius. This leaves the 12th house and the 10th sign Capricorn. Now we say that for Aquarius rising sign, the most favorable planets are Saturn ruling the first house, Mars ruling the third house, Sun ruling the 7th, Venus ruling the 9th, and Jupiter ruling the 11th. These planets will never cause harm. But the 6th house ruler, the 8th house ruler, and the 12th house rulers can cause adverse effects. The 6th, 8th, and 12th house are Dustan Bhavas, inauspicious houses. So if a Multrikona sign falls in the 6th, 8th, or 12th, then that ruler is a functional malefic. So for Aquarius, Moon's Multrikona sign falls in the 6th house, so Moon can cause adverse effects. And the 8th house ruler is Mercury. This is Virgo, ruled by Mercury. So Moon and Mercury for Aquarius can cause adverse effects. In fact, Mercury becomes most malefic planet. The 12th house does not contain a Multrikona sign, so that ruler is not a functional malefic. And Rahu and Ketu are functional malefics for every rising sign. Now we say he's Aquarius, so he's unconventional, imaginative, inventive. We see that Mars, ruling the third house of self-development, self-expression, and independence, is in the second house of wealth and status. And Mars is what? Sports, muscular parts of the body, competition. So Mars gives him tremendous status through sports. Venus, Mercury, and Sun in the third house give him a lot of drive for independence. Rahu in the 7th house gives successful relationships. Moon in the 9th is also quite good for intelligence and creativity. Good emotional. He was always very happy and friendly to others. Saturn gives him gains through his own self-effort. Saturn rules his chart. It's in the house of gains and income through his own self-efforts. And Saturn can also be physical structure. So he would have been successful as a chiropractor or osteopath or physical therapist. And Jupiter ruling the 11th is in the 11th. This is very good for a lot of money and income, which he had. He was successful. Jupiter's also older brothers, and it's in the 11th house, so he does have an older brother. Mars is strong and well placed. That can give a younger brother. Now we see that he died recently. In fact, he died yesterday at age of 54 from the salivary gland cancer. It is connected with, he claimed it was connected with chewing tobacco during his baseball career. He died in the Saturn main period, as you can see here. Saturn started back in 97. It was going to run until August 2016, so he had another 2 years to go of Saturn. And the sub-period was Jupiter. Jupiter started in January. So let's evaluate these two. So Saturn rules his chart, and at 25 degrees, it's under this Rahu 5th aspect. See, Rahu aspects 5, 7, and 9 houses away. Ketu aspects 5, 7, and 9 houses away. So Rahu 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this Rahu at 29 degrees is afflicting this Saturn at 25 degrees. If planets are within 5 degrees, there's an impact. Not within 5 degrees, no impact. So this Rahu's 20 degrees from Jupiter is causing no trouble to Jupiter. But it does cause trouble for Saturn. Not only does Saturn rule his chart, and it's a natural significator for health, it's also the natural significator for longevity of life. And it's afflicted by Rahu, which is unexpected calamities, and it can cause cancer. Saturn's the bones as well. So this was not a good situation here. So Saturn ruling the chart is afflicted, and then Jupiter was the sub-period ruler, and transit Jupiter, this is where the transits are currently. So look at this transit Jupiter. It's in Gemini, 29 degrees. So slide it over here, put it at 29 degrees, and what you see is that this Ketu from the first house at 29 degrees aspects 5, 7, and 9 houses away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here into Gemini at 29 degrees. That's 100% impact. So it doesn't bother Moon here because it's at 29 degrees and Moon is at 0 degrees. But this transit Jupiter, which is the sub-period or operating planet, came under the affliction of this Ketu. So that's not good. We also see that Moon, ruling the 6th house of health, is at 0 degrees in this chart. So that's infant state and powerless. It has no power to protect its own significations. We also see that Moon is sitting in a house under this affliction. See, Mercury rules this 8th house, so it becomes most malefic planet. And because it's at close to the rising sign degree, so this is about 12, almost 13 degrees, and here's Mercury at 15, almost 16 degrees. But that's within 5 degrees of the ascendant. So then that means that this has a tremendous impact where it occupies and where it aspects. So Mercury is afflicting this 3rd house, and it is afflicting this 9th house. So it undermines the strength of Moon, which rules the 6th house of health. This Mercury also undermines the strength of Sun, which is vitality, because Sun sitting in a house afflicted by Mercury. Mercury's afflicting Venus, which is the landlord for Moon. Venus is also wife, so this can cause trouble for his wife, which is his early demise. Also, because Mercury is the most malefic planet and it's close to the rising sign degree, it's actually afflicting the house it occupies. So therefore, Mercury becomes weak. Even though he's doing the afflicting, it's still a problem. He set this house on fire and he's sitting in it. Not good. Because Mercury rules this 8th house, and the 8th house is Ayushstan, the house of longevity. So we see that Saturn, ruling health and longevity, is afflicted by Rahu. Sun, ruling vitality, blood, immune system, is afflicted by Rahu. So that's his Sun right here, this Rahu afflicting the Sun. Mercury, the 8th ruler of longevity, is the most malefic planet, and it's afflicting the house it occupies. It's afflicting the 9th house. It's afflicting Venus. It's also undermining the strength of Moon. So all the significators for health and longevity are weak and afflicted. So he doesn't quite make it out of this period here. Also, we've had a very long duration of Mars ruling the third house. Has been down in this 8th house for months. It's been a very slow transit. It went all the way across Virgo, then it went retrograde back across it. Now it's going direct across it. But this has been very, very unhealthy for a lot of people. So Mars is also the muscular parts of the body, the energy level. It's a very powerful planet for Tony Gwynn, and it has a very difficult transit. And of course, currently this Rahu here at 2 degrees, look at this, it's afflicting Sun at 2 degrees by this 9th aspect. See, 5, 7, and 9 houses away. Look at this, Rahu's afflicting Moon, Rahu's afflicting Sun, Rahu's afflicting Mercury, ruling the 8th house of longevity. And this Rahu has been afflicting this Mercury for some time. Transit Rahu has been right on top of his Moon for months, actually, since March. It's at 5 degrees. Anyways, these are the main points for Tony Gwynn. He was one of my baseball heroes. I used to live in San Diego, and we went to a lot of the Padres games. So my heart goes out to his family. So best wishes to Tony Gwynn. Namaste.